Welcome back to the Toppy Blues, your source for all things Everton. I am Connor Williams, and we're back with another one of our 24/7 news report videos. As always, we start with our headline news, and the headline news today is that Everton and West Ham are both interested in Chelsea's Conor Gallagher. This comes via the Daily Star. We did run a poll on our Twitter account, which if you're not following, go follow it. The link will be in the description down below. We do polls occasionally for all the big stuff, to get sort of the overall reaction from the fan base. We did a poll so far, 2,247 people have voted. It is open for another 22 hours, 29 minutes, so go check that out if you want to vote on it and stuff like that. Although it's only been out for about an hour and a half, 2,000 of you have voted, just over 2,000, and quite resoundingly, 97% have said yes to Conor Gallagher. Only 3% are saying no. I mean, realistically, yeah, I'd like him. I think he's a fantastic player. Whether we can afford him, whether he wants to come on a permanent. I've heard that Tuchel might have said he might play him next season. I've also heard he wants to try and earn his way in that Chelsea squad. So we'll have to wait and see in terms of that. I have heard possibilities that it might be a loan deal, which wouldn't be awful. It's similar to what we've seen him do at Crystal Palace. If he was to come on loan, maybe with an obligation to buy, but I don't know if Chelsea will do that. But if the price was right, of course, I'd take Conor Gallagher. I think he does get into our team. I think we need a better midfielders. He's better than some of the players we've got as well, by quite a stretch. And also, you never know what's going to happen with Chelsea. Obviously, the ownership is still a massive deal for them. There were a consortium that was going to buy them. Then there was a millionaire that was going to buy them. Now I don't know where they're at with it, but it's still quite a bit of a mess at Chelsea in terms of ownership. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But I think he's a cracking player. The other problem is West Ham, and obviously West Ham this season at least have been a lot better than us. I don't know if that might turn his head. You know, staying in London as well might turn him maybe. I know it seems like a really farcical thing to say, but bear in mind Olivier Giroud supposedly turned down a move because he didn't want to live in Liverpool. You can never guarantee that London doesn't have that big draw to it, which I think is a bit silly, but I guess that's, you know, the player's prerogative, isn't it? Next, we have that Lazio are interested in Everton midfielder Alan this season, this summer. That comes from Corriere dello Sport. We asked again, would you sell Alan on the Toffee Blues Twitter? Only 1,611 of you have voted on this one. This one's open for 21 hours and 55 minutes as of recording, so go vote on that. 76% of you, myself included, voted yes. 24% said no. I actually really like Alan. I'm not one of these who thinks he's naff. I think he's fantastic. He's one of my favourite players in the squad purely for the type of player he is. Not emotionally. I'm not emotionally attached like a Richarlison or Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But in terms of like, he's just a bit of a terrier in midfield. He takes no messing. Gives as good as he gets. I really like the type of player he is. Yeah, there's no emotional. It's more I like the type of player. He's not the only type of player like that. There are, you know, an abundance of them in the footballing world. But it's nice to have someone like him in the team. The only reason I've said to sell him is because I believe he might be 30, 31 now. And I think it's time for pastures new. Lazio in Italy, I think he'll do really well there. He's 31, but at times this season, I think he's looked a bit shattered. In all honesty, he's looked a bit shattered, a bit knackered. I don't think he can do the games we've been expecting him to do all season, you know, back to back. The main one, I really like him. I think the main thing in my head is cash in now. That's the reason I'm saying it. Got to cash in while he's still worth a bit. So that's basically what it comes down to. We also have the news that Arsenal are interested in Richarlison and have been keeping tabs on the situation. Arsenal have sounded out for representatives, the Brazilians representatives recently. That comes from Charles Watts. He obviously is for the Arsenal correspondent for Goal. Arsenal just they're on a striker hunt at the minute, desperately. As much as you'd like to read into that, I've also heard they're still interested in Calvert-Lewin. I've heard this morning they're after Osimhen from Napoli as well, Gabriel Jesus from Manchester City, Alexander Isaac from Real Sociedad. So they're just basically aware they need a striker. Obviously, Lacazette's leaving, and Aubameyang went, and Nketiah is leaving, I believe. So it's very abundant to them that they need the goals to come from a front man. Richarlison, I think they're clearly looking at him not as a winger, but as a front man, and thinking maybe get him in to do that. So I'm not surprised he's linked with them. He's a good player. I don't think he's going to go there. I think Richarlison, when he leaves Everton, wants to leave to win trophies. And I know Arsenal fans won't like me saying this, but I still, in England, think they're a bit of a way off competing for trophies with some of the other teams. The Liverpool Cities, they're miles off them. And then you've got like the Tottenhams. I don't even think sometimes on their day they're on Tottenham's level, depending on which Tottenham and which Arsenal turn up, which I'm pretty sure Arsenal fans will absolutely hate me saying that, but it's my opinion. I think that they're a good team. I like Arteta. They're a really good team, but I still think they're a bit of a way off yet competing for trophies. And I think Richarlison has his heights set a little bit higher than that. We also have the news that Everton are pursuing Tottenham defender Cameron Carter-Vickers, but not before June 15th. That's because the Scottish champions Celtic, where he's been on loan, have until then to negotiate a permanent deal. American international Carter-Vickers has played a key role in the Hoops' double success this season, and their manager, Ange Postecoglou, I'm going to pronounce that as, is keen on making his move permanent. We're also in the race with Fulham as well. I would not get too excited about this if they've got the chance to make the loan permanent, and the Celtic manager likes him. More than likely, Celtic are going to get him. That Ange as well is a very good manager. I'm just awful at pronunciation, but I am very aware of who he is. He's a very good manager, Australian. I think he's going to get his man, isn't he? He's going to get his man. Those type of moves, it'd be really odd to see them beaten by somebody else. And finally, some international news for those of you who follow the England squad or internationals, or just want to see how the Everton boys get on in their internationals. Jordan Pickford has been announced for the upcoming England fixtures versus Hungary, Germany and Italy. Pickford is one of three keepers with Nick Pope and Aaron Ramsdale. Interesting to see who gets the number one slot between him and Ramsdale, as Arsenal fans are absolutely gasping for Ramsdale to be the number one. I think it should probably be Jordan Pickford. He's not let England down. And if you've watched any of Everton this season and you've actually watched us instead of just looking at the scores or watching the quick snippets of Match of the Day, you'd know he's actually been one of our best players this season. I've seen a lot of people go, does he deserve to be in England? Because how badly Everton are doing. And they're clearly just looking at the scores, looking at where we are and not actually watching it, because there's enough saves from Jordan Pickford in this last month alone to sort of argue that he should be in there. Not perfect. He is susceptible to an error now and then, but so is Aaron Ramsdale. I've seen him have a few. I just think Jordan Pickford's going to have this till he sort of retires from internationals. I remember 2 seasons ago, it was Nick Pope that was going to overthrow him from the England. Then there were rumours of Tom Heaton. Every time he gets, there's a new English keeper that appears or has a sort of thrust into greatness, it's, oh, he should be over Pickford. I think he's quite disrespected, in all honesty, from England fans, Jordan Pickford. But again, my opinion, I think it's a really bad rag at it. But that is all we've got time for today. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below on any of the stuff I've discussed today. Starting from the headline news of, would you take Conor Gallagher? I'm pretty sure you're all going to be in agreement for that. I've not seen many fans say no. Like I said, I think it was 3% that said no on the poll. Would you sell Alan? Have you seen much of Carter-Vickers? Would you take him? Are you happy to see Jordan Pickford in the England squad? Let me know if you agree with me, where you think he gets a bit of a hard rap. because he's England's number one. I'd be interested to see if I'm not the only one that thinks that. And most importantly, guys, stay safe, and I will see you all very, very soon.